What's up, everybody? Welcome to our first podcast, Anirtainment. We're going to talk about One Punch Man first, but before we get into that, I'm Josh.
I'm Michael, and today we have a special guest in
Frank.
So, before we go any farther, if you haven't watched One Punch Man, you're probably going to pause the video in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now you can come back, and now that you've watched it, you can listen to these spoilers. So, that was your warning.
A little background info. The main character, his name's Saitama. He is a superhero for fun, but he's bored because he beats everybody in one punch.
Hence the name,
Exactly.
One Punch Man.
The timeline. Where do we want to start? Obviously, the beginning. So, how does he become a hero?
He became a hero when he was walking back from a job interview. I'm pretty sure he failed.
Yeah.
And this giant crab monster was looking for this kid.
With the weird chin. It's amazing. If you ever get the chance, you could probably look this up too. It's just the kid with the weird chin, One Punch Man, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
It's one of the best images I think you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's also one, the manga one, they make One Punch Man. They've also made Mob Psycho, and there's another dude with the same weird chin in it, and it's so funny.
Another thing about that kid is, I don't know if any of you guys picked up on this, but the person that founded the Hero Association, which becomes important later in the series, he has the weird chin of the kid.
Oh my god.
He's quoted saying that he formed the Hero Association because a hero saved his kid.
Oh my god. How did I notice that before?
I don't know.
I never picked up on that. I don't even remember him being in the show.
I don't know if he was in the show. I just know they mention it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the first encounter with the Crab Man.
What was he trying to kill the kid? I honestly don't remember.
Because he drew nipples on his shell,
right.
and he couldn't, in permanent mark, and he couldn't get them off.
He goes and finds the kid, and Saitama's right there trying to get him to run away, but he's like, my ball, and it doesn't...
Yeah, it gets popped, and it doesn't matter, and then he's got to fight him because, well...
Saitama starts out by getting absolutely destroyed, and then...
Something clicks,
and then he just takes his tie, wraps it around the monster's eye, and pulls all his guts out through his eye socket.
Which was amazing.
It's also a very gruesome scene, but this whole show was kind of gruesome.
Yeah.
This is definitely rated M for mature for putting it in, whatever those ratings are for the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, moving forward from that, he decides to become a hero, and we'll get into his training regimen a little bit later. He kind of moves into this hero for fun aspect, and
he starts defeating a bunch of giant monsters and things, but not getting any recognition for it. Probably because he doesn't stay around long enough for it. He kills them and leaves.
Right.
Whatever.
Goes to the supermarket.
Yeah. In his hero outfit.
Yep.
So still no one notices him.
Hard just noticed a little, a regular-sized human against a 40-foot tall monster.
Yeah. Like the strongest man alive when he took the serum and all that. And
what's
that on your shoulder? Dead.
Brother!
Yeah. And again, one punch with that one was the same way that fight ended. Yep. So, at what point does he meet Genos? That was with the Wasp lady, correct?
Yeah, that was with the Wasp lady. I can't remember if that was episode 2 or 3.
I think that was like 3.
Yeah.
I want to say 3.
Probably episode 3, because at least like bees, wasp things, insects, some sort of flying insect.
Yeah.
We're like taking out everybody in this city, and Genos showed up and tried to stop him. Failed.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole House of Evolution, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was. I think she was part of the House of Evolution. I think so.
I thought she was.
I thought she was just this wasp queen thing, and Genos was fighting her, not doing too good of a job. Saitama just kind of walks out of nowhere. I think he was coming back from doing grocery shopping.
No, he was getting bugged by one of the wasps.
Not the mosquito.
The mosquito. Yeah.
Yeah, it was mosquito.
She was controlling them. She's the mosquito lady because she was sucking the blood from the mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's how she got stronger, because the mosquitoes come back and injected into her.
Right. So he was chasing one and just happened to bump into Genos because he chased this thing from his house the entire way into town.
Mm-hmm. Genos is like, go away, go away.
Yeah.
He's like, there's a thing.
Yeah.
Genos is getting his butt kicked, and he's like, let me take care of this. And one punches him because One Punch Man.
Yeah. Which was that was the first couple episodes started out with some really gruesome stuff. I mean, she kind of splattered. She splattered on that building, and it was just straight
Every
up
time Saitama takes his fist and connects with somebody, that
gruesome.
person goes splat.
Yeah.
In some way or form.
Yes.
And they meet Genos, and Genos decides to become... It wasn't even
Saitama's apprentice.
Yes, yeah. It wasn't even Saitama who suggested. He would just kind of happen. Yeah.
He saw him beat that wasp or mosquito queen one punch. He's like, I want to be your apprentice. Make me your apprentice.
It's also worth mentioning, it was after the mosquito lady ripped Genos apart. By the way, Genos is a cyborg that controls, like, all the fire.
Right.
All the
dimension.
fire.
Yes.
Yep. He's kind of reckless too. I mean, in the beginning, he's very, very reckless. He thinks he's very powerful, which he is. Don't get me wrong, but like in comparison to One Punch Man, not even close. They end up getting into a discussion about like how he hasn't been getting recognition. He's been taking down all these people. Genos can't really believe it, but then believes it after what he's seen. And then I think Genos, right? He brings up the Hero Association.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, though, they go to the House of Evolution.
Oh, that's right. Right. Where the mosquito lady was, I think, from.
Yeah, because the house had also sent other things, other
Found
weird
you.
monsters to them. I think they were actually going after Genos, and Saitama just happened to be there. And,
They're going after whatever killed Mosquito Lady.
yeah, and they thought it was Genos.
Right.
He was the one in pursuit.
Yeah.
They go there, and I think the Hero Association took really a keen eye to Genos because he destroyed the entire House of Evolution in one, just
Blow.
all the fire.
Yep.
Like you had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, it was in the House of Evolution where we find out what Saitama's training regimen was.
Oh, which is the best thing in the world. Frank, you care to do the honors. Do you remember it?
I actually can't remember it.
I remember it. So they're in the basement fighting this weird human beetle.
Carnage Kabuto, I think?
Something like that. It was supposed to be like the evolution of humans or something like that. And they want to know, like, wow, how are you so strong? How can you beat just kill everything in one punch? And Saitama gets super serious. He's like, okay, do you want to know? He's like, I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and ran 10 kilometers every day for 3 years. And nobody believed him.
Yeah.
Not a single person.
No, and it is like a ridiculous training regimen. Like, that's a lot of push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, but...
But to get as strong as he got,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that would do it.
No,
Yeah.
you'd think there'd be some sort of drugs or like lightning striking him, getting hit by radioactivity or something.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, just... I think, as Genos put it, just basic cardio or something like that.
Something like that.
Basically, if you take anything from this, if you can do cardio, you can become One Punch Man.
Yeah, you can...
Apparently.
You can kill anyone with one punch?
I found my goal.
We will report back to you in 3 years when Frank has done 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run every single day for 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll take me a while to get there, but
If one of us isn't here, you know where to go, but don't fight him. You won't win.
After the House of Evolution, they find that Saitama or Genos brought up to Saitama, hey, you should register to be an actual hero at the Hero Association. Saitama's like, what? Hero Association? What's that?
he had never heard of it.
Nope.
Yeah. You care to do the honors of the Hero Association?
So basically, heroes that work for the Hero Association, they get paid, to save the world and that kind of stuff, or just like save a lady from having her purse stolen.
Yeah, depending on your rank, right?
Depending on your rank, they have rank from C all the way up to, I believe it's S is the highest tier. Mm-hmm. If you're a C class hero, if you don't do something heroic and get recognized for it within 1 week, you're immediately fired.
Yeah, you're taken off the list. It's pretty rough being a C.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every tier above that, nothing else happens, but the higher tier you are, you get called in for bigger and bigger stuff.
Yeah.
With the S class heroes being called in for those like world-threatening jobs.
It's like God threat level or something like that.
Yeah,
God
it's
is
like-
the highest, then I think it's Dragon,
and then
Demon, and Tiger?
something like
Yeah.
that.
I think. Someone can correct us on there in the comments, or whatever the case may be. But,
Yep.
In order to even be a part of the Hero Association, you have to take 2 exams. There's a written one, and then there's a physical one.
Needless to say, he got a perfect score on the physical. The 2 exams were broken up. It was 100 total points. They were each worth 50. He got a 50 out of 50 on the physical. He got 21 out of 50 on the written. You need at least a 70 to be a hero. He has 71.
So he
And
just passed.
right. And Genos, being a cyborg, obviously got a perfect on the physical part of the test and scored a perfect on the written part, and he was immediately given the rank of S class.
Yes, he was the lowest tier. He was the lowest ranked S rank hero, but he was still there. While Saitama was the lowest ranked C hero. A little backwards almost.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I mean,
Saitama should be like S rank 1, S tier rank 1.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
only
he's at the
10?
very bottom.
If I remember right, there are only 10 S classes, right?
17.
17 with Genos.
17 with
Yes.
Genos.
Yeah.
I think by the end of the show, Saitama Saitama ends up in B tier while Genos moves up one rank.
And the last big thing is like the alien ship, and that was probably the best fight for Saitama, even though it only took him technically 1 punch to kill, 3 in total though that he had to use.
Well, yes, because that the alien on that ship, his name was what, Boros?
Boros.
Him and a bunch of the other people on that ship had regenerative powers because they had this little rock crystal thing in them that let them regenerate, even though they got like splatted into 1,000,001 different pieces. So like Saitama punched him, broke the armor he was wearing, which contained all of his incomprehensible power, or whatever you called it.
It was either way. I thought that was a pretty good fight. And then we can talk a little bit about the art style too, which is also ultimately really important in this show. I mean, not just for the fact that it's hilarious. There are some really great moments in this show.
It also really just catches when like the tone of the show would change, because you have your normal style, which most of the show is in. It's very like cartoony, rounded. It's a very soft looking show.
Yeah,
I think would be a good way to describe it.
One Punch Man looks very squishy.
But whenever he gets like serious or like something really bad is gonna happen, it like edges sharpen, everything becomes...
It becomes very comic book.
Yeah. Which is kind of, the point.
Yeah, when he's not super serious, it looks all comic book. And when he gets super serious, it actually looks like a typical anime that you would watch.
Yeah. And there are even some moments where they use the art style in a way that it's almost flipped, where like...
Supposed to be super serious aren't, like when he's fighting the big bad at the end, and he's like, oh, you just broke my armor, I'm gonna get like super strong, and he's standing there just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like not giving any care in the world, because he knows he's probably gonna win.
Yeah, again, one of my favorites is in like episode 2 with the mosquito lady. He's just, sitting on his porch trying to water his plants. He gets bit by a mosquito, so he slaps it. The mosquito flies away, tries to kill it. And it's so intense because it's like Saitama with his serious face. And with each clap, a wave of energy is coming out and like moving everything. Mosquito keeps dodging.
Yeah, so I think they do a really good job of using that art style to really, push the boundaries of like, I think it adds to the comedy level too.
Now that we've talked about aspects of the show, what did you guys think of the show? You like it, not like it? Your opinions?
Well, it personally for me, I think it was the first anime that like I watched. It was a really good starter. Like if you're looking to get into an anime, this is probably the place to start. Mm-hmm. It's really funny. It has really great fight scenes for the most part. If Saitama isn't the first one there, the characters are really great, and I mean, there's still more to figure out. We still haven't met all the heroes. We don't know Genos' backstory entirely.
No, sort of.
We know some of it.
Some of it.
So it has its moments of really serious, here's the plot line, but then it doesn't forget that it's a really lighthearted show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Frank, what do you think?
It's been a while since I've watched the show, but looking back on it, I have a lot of fond memories of watching this show. This show was one of the shows I could sit down and watch for like... I could watch the whole thing. I think that's what I did when I first watched it. I sat down at my cousin's house and I marathoned the whole thing.
That's impressive.
As you guys have mentioned, like it's kind of like serious, kind of not serious, and I thought it was the perfect balance between the two. I just loved it.
It was really good.
I have no other words for how much I loved it.
Yeah.
Michael? It was definitely a really good show. I enjoyed it a lot. I also watched it all in one day, binged it all in one day the first time I watched it. It's like I've watched it a couple times, enjoyed the show, laughed a lot, it was super funny, super active. The action was awesome, the fight scenes, with and without Saitama. Yeah, so what do you think season 2, what's going to happen in season 2?
I mean, the way they leave off is kind of the way they start it, with the whole, I defeated in 1 punch again? Damn it! And like, either way, so I think we're gonna get a lot of character building with Metal Knight.
Maybe we'll get more Moomin Rider.
They hyped him up so much, and I feel so bad every time because he just gets. I mean, it's not even by One Punch Man, but he's literally just getting one punched by every single monster.
It's because he's just a normal guy and get up and rides a bike.
Yeah.
And he goes around and tries to take on these super strong villains and monsters.
So that being said, we made mention of heroes. What are you guys' favorite heroes? Does anyone know right off the bat? Like, that's a tough question even for me.
Yeah. I am...
Besides Saitama. Okay. Let's get that out of the way.
I'm very indecisive, so that makes it very difficult. Yeah, okay. I'll go last. How's that?
Prey Prisoner is just awesome. I'm going to have to go with Prey Prisoner. He is this really big buff dude. He was in jail because why was he in jail again? He was in prison because he couldn't stop attacking handsome men or something like that.
Yeah,
He's gay,
handsome
by the way.
heroes.
He's like it's never straight out says he's gay, but he's
He's
gay.
very flamboyant.
Yes, he's gay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
He's still an S tier, and he's still like incredibly strong.
Yeah. He's
got-
very, very strong.
Yes.
I think I've got mine.
And that is?
I think I've decided. His hero name is technically Bang, but he goes by, looks like the hero name Silverfang. And he's that old, like, really
Yeah, I know
awesome
who you're
kung
talking
fu
about. I know who
master.
you're talking about.
Yeah. And I thought, he seems like that really wise, old, typical, like, kung fu style guy. And he's so good. Like, he's so fast. He's very fast, very strong. And seems to want to take on the idea of, like, helping Saitama maybe not get stronger because, you can't really
I
help
wouldn't
him.
think that's possible.
But maybe to help Genos, like, understand or at least help these two become better heroes.
Back to you, Mr.
You're making
Indecisive.
me make decisions. It's
Look,
my least
I know they
favorite
can't
thing.
tell, but I got a list right in front of us.
I know. I might have to go with Tornado because I
Really?
think, yeah, like she's the. For those who don't know, she's her hero name's like Terrible Tornado or something like that.
Yeah.
She's the top female superhero. She's number 2 in S rank. I think it's honestly just because like she is an extremely powerful hero.
So we've discussed our favorite heroes. What are our favorite fight scenes?
Oh.
That's a
man.
bit tougher.
Who started first the last time? You started first.
I started first.
I actually,
Frank, you
I
go
actually
first
have
this
this
time.
one.
Oh,
I
wow.
guess I don't
Mr.
have
Decisive actually has something already
Well,
decided.
because like it involves the 2 main characters, and it's when Genos was asking Saitama to like train him, and he wanted to fight Saitama seriously.
Oh, that's
And
right.
Genos was like pulling out all these cyborg enhancement tricks out of his bag,
I remember this.
and like it looked like he would be, beating the living hell out of Saitama. Saitama wasn't taking it serious at all. In fact, he
Right.
was like laughing and smiling throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. But
And Genos begs Saitama to take it serious, and he does.
yeah.
And as he goes in to punch, like it's more than like the serious punch, but he stops it. And behind Genos, I don't know if I should say this, but I want to because it's a fun story. Like behind Genos, the fist stops right in front of Genos' face, but Genos turns around.
I thought he like punched into like the side.
Oh, I think that might be right.
It was one of the two. Regardless.
Either way, behind Genos, just any mountains or cliff sides is completely obliterated in like there's like a circle
Yeah, the
going
rounded-
through the whole thing
Yeah.
for miles.
I think I'm gonna have to piggyback off of you because I had completely forgot about that fight scene. And while it wasn't like an enemy versus our hero Saitama, I think that was a really cool, just the fight scene to see really how powerful he is and really how quick. Because Genos was really fast, doing a lot of damage. There were times when he was cutting down forests and blazing fire through rocks and all.
Yeah.
But whenever you understand that Saitama goes from right in front of, right in direct path of an attack to literally behind him, throws a punch and taps on his shoulder just because he's that quick, it just shows how powerful he really is.
Mm-hmm.
And yours?
My favorite. There's so many. I think this might be my favorite just because it's one of the more funny ones. It's when he's fighting Supersonic Speed.
That's
Dude.
what I was gonna mention.
Speed of Sound Sonic,
Speed
yeah.
of Sound Sonic. After these villains with bald heads were trying to be like, we don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, and he mistakes them for one of those, and then the fight scene happens.
Yeah, he goes to fight, and this Speed of Sound Sonic's like, I'm the fastest there is, nobody's faster. So he goes to try and make attacks, and Thomas just like moving ever so slightly out of the way to dodge. She's like, what the hell? And he goes down, at the end of the fight, he goes down to try and attack him, and Thomas just has his fist up. The dude lands
Crotch first.
crotch first on it and bounces straight off. He's like, and he's holding himself.
Yeah.
Thomas like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I thought
Yeah.
it was funny.
All right, so what would you guys have to give this overall rating? Do you want to call it out of 10? I feel like 10 out of 10 is a round rating.
10's a thing that everybody does. It's easy.
Yeah, all right. Frank, you go first.
I'm always real hesitant to give shows like a full perfect score because there's always things that could be done better. But this is really close.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it a 10. I'll give it like a 9.5.
Okay. I give it a 9.8.
See, I was just going to give it a straight up 9 out of 10. You guys are going a bit higher than me. I'm still gonna stick with the 9 out of 10. It was a really good show. It was really funny.
Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you tune in next week. I think it'll be in a week, roughly. Tune into our next one when we talk about Rooster Teeth animation.
Bye.
See ya.